Welcome back to your favorite show on everything finance, the Know Your Dough show. Today we're going to be talking about homeownership versus renting.
Today we're going to be talking about the responsibilities and expenses of renting versus owning, sound financial decision making for renting versus owning, and home ownership costs.
There's a multitude of factors to consider before you decide and pull the trigger on whether to buy a house or rent a place. You have to consider, how much money do I have? How much of my income am I willing to put into housing? Where do I live? What's the size of my family? How many people am I going to be living with? What city do I live in? All kinds of different factors. What's the property value of the house? What's the market like for housing? Was there just a housing crash? So, you have to look at the pros and cons of both. When you rent, it allows you flexibility. You just pay on a month-to-month basis. It's usually cheaper than the actual mortgage payments, and it doesn't have interest on the payments. Also, renting also allows you to have a lot of amenities paid for. For example, a lot of places, a lot of apartments have free electricity and water, etc. because it's included in the rental fee. On top of this, you also don't have to worry about the housing market or changes in real estate prices because you already paid that fixed rent price. However, there is one huge downside to renting, and it's you don't own the property. When you want to move, that's it. All that money you put in renting, gone. Ashes. Pieces of atoms. What's that mean? Well, it means you have absolutely nothing to gain from renting. Compare that to purchasing property. When you buy property, you're making an investment. I buy a house for $50,000 now, chances are it'll be worth more than $50,000 in 15 years. Property tends to rise in value because it becomes more scarce, and that's just how the housing market goes. What's that mean? That means even though I'm paying $60,000, $70,000, $400,000 into this house right now, that means the house maintains its value. When I sell it, I'll get that money right back. In the end, the only thing you're really paying out of pocket is the interest on your mortgage. The initial money that you spend to purchase the house is usually made up when you sell it, and you can usually profit even off of selling your house. There's people that flip houses that will do this, that will sell houses, buy new houses, rent out houses. There's an entire market just for real estate because of the way property value works. What this means is when you buy a house instead of renting, you are gaining tangible property that will rise in value and is something tangible that no matter how the dollar appreciates or depreciates, it has the same perceived value.
If you are looking to settle down with a family and a steady career, you may want to consider buying a home. However, if you are early in life, go back to looking at your needs and wants and determine if renting is better for you. Think to yourself, do you live in an apartment with a pool and a gym, or will a bare-bones studio apartment suffice your needs?
There's more than just your mortgage to pay for, of course, when it comes to owning a house. Water, fire, aka gas, electricity, taking the trash out, sewage for when you flush your toilet. All these tend to cost money, and that's just so you can keep the quality of your life at your home at its optimum level. That means when accounting for costs, you also have to set aside a separate portion in your budget for the amenities that come along with it.
As stated earlier, purchasing a home is an investment. Because you own this property, as the house gains value over time because property becomes more scarce, your net value will also increase over time.
Now, it's not that easy to get a mortgage. I can't just show up being 17 years old and say, I want to take a $1 million mortgage for that mansion over there. Bank's not going to do it. They know I don't have a job. They know I'm not going to be able to pay my loan. They know that's the biggest risk they'll ever take in the world, and they're not going to make money off that. They're just going to lose it. So, they don't give me the loan. They'll look at your credit history. They'll look at your history, your criminal history. They'll fingerprint you. They'll make sure to background check every nook and cranny because they learned in 08 what happens when you are packaged in a subprime, aka a really bad mortgage loan. So they're very strict these days on who they actually lend money out to. Make sure you have a steady career that promises that you have money to pay them. Make sure that you haven't defaulted on loans in the past, and make sure that you haven't broken laws. All these things will impact whether or not a loan will be given to you, and also decide how much the bank's willing to loan.
We hope you have a solid understanding of the responsibilities and expenses of renting versus home ownership, sound financial decision making for renting versus home ownership, and home ownership decision making.
Thank you so much for coming here today to watch our video on renting and purchasing homes. We hope you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification, refresh the page, refresh the video, share it with your friends, add us on Google+. This has been Landon.
And Dave.
And we're here to make sure that you know your dough.